Hello, Judah. It's good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good. I'm just
Good, good. We had
chilling in the middle of the ocean.
I was going to say we had the chance to speak yesterday, and this is your first big Zoom press day. How's it going so far?
It's good. It's going well. It's been amazing to get such an enthusiastic response from people that have seen the show.
Has anything surprised you so far?
Honestly, I'm just like overcome by all the enthusiasm that we're getting, and for a show that takes such wild twists and turns tonally, it's just like really nice that people seem to be on board for this and understand it as much as they do.
That's awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
feel like Pete Davidson being Pete Davidson is a good baseline for people to know what to expect with the show. Is there anything else content-wise you think is like the right expectation to have if you want to come into Bupkis?
I mean, I think that you have to. I think to me the exciting part about Bupkis is that I think you're, despite having an idea of what you think Pete Davidson's persona is or public image is, that this show is going to be surprising and unexpected. I don't. I take great pride in the fact that you could grill people to come up with storylines of what they think they're going to see in this show, and I think that our show is not going to be in line with what people expect. And that was one of the goals that we had with this show, was to try to circumvent expectation and to continually have the tone be kind of boundless and without rules in terms of where the show could go.
What is Pete's creative involvement, and how much does he let other people sort of, foist upon him and his
you know
personality?
Pete is extremely involved, and it's like he's in. First of all, Pete's an incredible writer. I think that people are going to find that, in addition to finding that he's a very skilled actor that's able to perform opposite people like Joe Pesci and Edie Falco, which I think is unbelievable that he's able to hold his own against actors like that. But Pete's extremely involved. It's the some of the subject matter that we're dealing with in this show has a core of truthfulness to it from his real life. So I think it was like very important that all of these stories originated from Pete, as opposed to trying to like fictionalize or come up with situations and then pitch them to Pete to see if he was on board with them. That being said, like where we take things and how we heighten and escalate and fictionalize things is a very collaborative, creative process. Where that's what makes, I think, Bupkis what it is.
Yeah, and I always go back to him, that NFT rap from Saturday Night Live. That's like my one of my first things. But I also think about the King of Staten Island and Big Time Adolescence, and just the slightly more serious side, which I don't know. I don't know if this show gets so much into the serious side, but I think it still does. It does. It gets you there, just not in the way you'd expect, as you were saying before.
I mean, ideally it's both, and it's like I would like to say that like it's a show that delves into some serious subject matter, but then simultaneously doesn't take itself too seriously and isn't afraid to turn it on its head for absurdity's sake at times.
Yeah. And you mentioned Edie and Joe. I mean, these are some heavy hitters who, this, I'm sure we're not just immediately like, of course, Pete Davidson. I'm sure there was sort of process there. Or
Oh,
were they?
there was a process, and like it again, a lot of people said it would be impossible. Joe Pesci was retired. This I don't know. It's one of those. I say the show is like a fever dream, surreal fever dream, and like the casting of the show is like a wonderful fever dream, nonetheless. But it was incredible. I mean, Joe and Pete really connected. Joe developed like a real grandfatherly type of mentorship of Pete, as he did with all of us, which is, for me personally, is something I'll remember the rest of my life, going through scripts with Joe Pesci and having him tell me about shooting movies with Martin Scorsese. But, I don't know. It's hard to, other than saying it's humbling to have such world-class talent come in and fearlessly sign on to do something that is kind of, absurd. Some of our actors are taking great risks with us, and I think it just goes to show how much people love and respect Pete to show up for him like this.
Absolutely. Is there a lot of improv involved, or things are pretty much performed as acted?
Our scripts are we're very scripted when we go into production, but that being said, like we have some incredible improvisers, so it's like when you have someone like Brad Garrett on set, he's going to come up with things that are funnier than maybe we could write even. So there is a mixture of improv happening on set, but yeah, we definitely have these things fully scripted before we shoot them.
And we talked about this in person yesterday, but I want to get it on the record for those watching. All the episodes, watch them right away or space them out a little bit.
I mean, like I've been enjoying, like a lot of people have been enjoying binging things. So like I think people should watch this however they want to watch it. But like it's I know that a lot of people are gonna be excited to be able to binge this show. I can't begrudge people for doing that. My only downside is that we worked so hard on this for so long that people might end up consuming this in a day or two and then moving on. But I hope people enjoy it whichever way they want to enjoy it.
I think that's a great attitude. It's great to see you again. I wish you plenty of luck with the show.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you.